I don't think that there are many teenagers in Canada, the United States, or any country in the world who would like their parents to constantly monitor their phones. In my country, South Korea, preteens and teenagers may not like it, but we don't have a say in the matter. Kirk admits that he's extremely uncomfortable that his child is growing up in a society of prying eyes. Furthermore, I believe that this law will seriously harm the relationship between parent and child. Spying on them will just make the kids angry and bitter. I also believe that it should be the job of the parents to supervise their children's activities, not the job of the government.
Yes, in 2018, a Front magazine reports that there are currently 58,000 people enslaved in the US, many of them being domestic workers. I was horrified when I learned that slavery still exists today. But I was also glad to find out that anti-slavery advocates are working hard to put an end to this appalling practice. Well, we can try to find out where companies and stores that we shop at for such things as electronics, clothes, makeup, and chocolate get their materials and ingredients from. And if we find out that they are getting them from the countries with slave labor, then we can boycott these countries, companies, or stores.
In March 2018, the Loyola University men's basketball team, the Ramblers, made a historic and amazing run in the NCAA tournament. Sister Jean, you've probably figured out, is not an ordinary nun. She is a super nun. Reporters have described her as a rock star and as the basketball nun who loves to work with young people and have fun all the time. Now that you know who Sister Jean is, I bet you're curious as to why I consider her the Ramblers' secret weapon and key to their magical journey to the final four. Teams tend to perform much better if they have a lot of fun cheering them on. I believe that Sister Jean's prayers, scouting reports, tips, and growing fame contributed hugely to the Ramblers' success.
I could feel my heart pounding. Even my ears were able to hear it. My legs were trembling, something I'd not experienced before. Water formed on my face and my hands were sweaty. In about 10 minutes, I would hear my name called and I would have to walk onto the stage and give a speech. Just what is anxiety? The dictionary says it is the feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. It happens when you're very, very stressed out about doing something that you don't like or you don't feel confident about. Such as an important test that you could either pass or fail a course. Dr. Miller also recommends facing fears in small doses. She suggests if you're afraid of public speaking, you should prepare speech contests by practicing before a mirror or in front of a pet.
Driverless cars, otherwise known as self-driving or autonomous cars, were touted to be the solution to distracted driving and car accidents. But last month, a driverless car hit and killed a pedestrian crossing the street. Some people claim that they will drastically reduce the number of deaths from car accidents and make our roads safer because computers are already perceiving better, calculating faster, and reacting sooner than humans driving cars. For example, there's no legal precedent for how a case of a driverless vehicle involved in a serious accident could be handled. But once this is done, I believe these vehicles will significantly reduce the number of accidents on our roads, save countless lives, and transform our lives for the better.
On April 2nd, 2018, Henrik and Daniel Sedin announced their retirement after 17 seasons with the Vancouver Canucks. If you are a true Canucks fan like I am, this was heartbreaking news. We're identical twins from Sweden. Henrik and Daniel Sedin appeared at the 1999 NHL entry draft. Some of the media said they were too soft and not good
Daniel and
skills.
Henrik
Also led Vancouver within one game of winning the Stanley Cup in 2011. Individually too, the Sedins were outstanding, both winning the Art Ross Trophy as the league's top scorer and the Hart Trophy as the league's MVP in separate years. As Tim Hornsby rightly said, the game will miss the Sedin skill, their shared brain, their short passes, their deflection from the high slot, and their dignity and their class on and off the ice. Thank you, Henrik and Danny.
Do you ever wonder who invented homework? I think it is the dumbest invention ever. I know a lot of people agree with me, even if they're afraid to say so publicly. Today, students worldwide continue to get homework from their teachers, even though many parents complain that homework interferes with family life. Homework also reduces the amount of time that children have for other important activities such as exercise, making friends, and sleep. A statement that the American Educational Research Association made some years ago made a lot of sense, but was largely ignored. I say that homework does all these negative things, and so it is not meeting the needs of children. It can actually have a very negative effects on children's health.